The following video was recorded on location in my state-of-the-art office in the corner of my first floor apartment. If you like what you're about to hear, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell in the upper right corner.
Hey man!
Hey, how's it going?
Hey Josh! Yeah, long time. All good?
Oh, it's great to talk to you again. Talking to you last year about Heavy Rock Radio was one of my favorite interviews of last year, and it's great to be able to talk to you again for your brand new album.
Yeah, I remember Josh, yeah. I got you in my Skype. Yeah, you're on my Skype, so yeah, cool. How you been doing? Everything fine?
Yeah, I've been doing great. Hope you are as well.
Yeah, keeping busy, everything.
Oh, very much so.
Sorry? Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I can imagine how busy you are, especially with your brand new album, Life on Death Road, coming out tomorrow through Frontiers Music.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's another one down, but a great lineup this time. So I'm really I'm happy about the new lineup and everything. It was the band was a bit watered out. I would say all the wine was a bit watered out before. So when I did the Heavy Rock Radio album, it was a bit more temporary. The band, I would say, because everyone was busy with other things, and they just basically worked with me when they had time. So at least for the drummer, and for a couple of the guys that I worked with, and it was the right time. I had Trond, my guitar player at the time, which was a great player, and but the rest was kind of a bit unstable, I would say, not a steady lineup. But they were all great players. But this time it's different because now it's more like a strong unit. It's more very tight and I would say very solid band that come from the same background in a way, influenced by the same music, looking for the same thing basically, and you can hear that with this record. I think the sound is great.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it feels like every time that there's a new lineup, it kind of brings some kind of new rejuvenation to a project, and I really hear that with Life on Death Road, because it just, much like the press release says, I mean, there's a lot of anthem-type songs on there. There's a lot of great dynamics being thrown around, and it feels like a very cohesive Jorn album.
It's the good thing with this record is that I think we all have the same feeling that we now got to do something that we wanted to do for a long time, because everyone's been working with everyone, all these projects and different constellations of musicians together, which is not a bad thing, but when we grew up, we all heard all these great individual musicians that really fitted together. They were really perfect together, and it's like this great synergy. And I've been missing that for a long time, to be honest. I always had a great drummer, or I had some great people in the band, but or great guitarist for that matter. They were all good, but it's like when you put people together from different styles, it works, but the result is not always as defined as what we have now. And what we have now is more that classic sound that we were looking for when we were younger. What we dreamt of doing. So it's like we are all getting up there now, but we get this kind of fresh feeling now that we're back on track, like when we were young, you know. We're getting hungry again because we can feel the energy of the band. We can feel the groove and the tone in every thing, you know. It's a different character, I think, now than the last couple of records before. So, I mean, there was records before, also good records, good sound, good productions, good songs on them. But it's just something something special when you have that all those right people coming together. It's just some magic that happens. And you know, I never really thought about it that much the last few years, because the world has been developing into this more stereotype place where everyone works with everyone, and there's a certain style in metal or a certain trend that's popular, you know, and that classic recipe kind of got forgotten somehow a bit. I think maybe because everything is very hectic and moving fast, I don't know, but pressure is on, definitely, for everyone, I think, these times. And yeah, so I think, you know, to have that experience now with this record really makes me very proud and very happy. It's not often that I play my album in the car or, you know, listening to the record, enjoying the record. Usually it takes a while before I want to listen, because I'm tired of working on the album, you know, always listening with earphones on details for the mix, or analyzing bits and pieces. So you want to put it to rest for a while. But this time I was just anxious to get the record when, you know, the actual physical CD. Of course, vinyl is the best. I will get that later, because they're printing a vinyl edition of the album as well, which is great. But just to get the CD is almost and play it now, I haven't experienced that in a long time. You know, and usually I'm, like I said, a bit tired of working or listening to the record or the songs. You know, so because I usually have the masters for a long time before the actual album is out. So, but now I really enjoy listening to the songs. I think that's really something I haven't done in a long time. You know, when I was a kid, I used to wait in excitement for that vinyl album to arrive. You know, it took a long time. It took usually like a couple of weeks or more to get the record that I wanted. And yeah, it was different times back in the day. So yeah, I get this feeling again, I think, now, and I think that's the same for the rest of the guys. We all felt that we had the chance to do something that we wanted to do, you know, that we have been longing to do for a long time. Also, I've known the guys for a long time. We've met on several occasions. Sometimes on festivals, you know, sharing a beer or whatever, or drinking together, you know, it's stuff like that. But we never really got to play together in a band. Like I said, people are just being everywhere. People playing with everything. So I'm happy. I'm really happy with the record. The record is also very honest, and it's probably some of the purest ever written. It's to the point. It's a rock album that's to the point, that reflects on the times we live in, and I think a lot of people can identify with the message of the record. It addresses everything that goes on today, as well as looking back at history, and, you know, thoughts about that as well, you know. And yeah, it's the same style I always write in, I would say, but I would say this time it's all coming together differently. It's just much more definition. Yeah, it's just very, very much a unit somehow. It's not as experimental, and there's no, you don't have 3-4 classic rock songs, and then you have some experimental stuff going on, slightly different. It's very much one thread going on through the whole record. Maybe only song that sticks out a bit is the song I wrote together with Gus G, the ballad, which is I think track number 8 or 10 or something. Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember. But actually, I have the record here, so I know. It's track number 10. Yeah. That's the song that maybe changes the flow of the album slightly. But then again, it's good to have a fresh breath as well on the record. And it was great that Gus sent me some ideas for that song, and I just came up with some words for it and a vocal melody, and I told him I loved the song, and I said we'll try to fit it on the album, if we can see if we can make it. We already recorded everything else for the record basically, and we were almost done. So Francesco had to go back into the studio and do the drums and stuff to do for that, and I'm happy he had the time to do that. Yeah, so we could add it to the record. Yeah, great band. Alex Bayron, it reminds me a bit of those guitar heroes of the 70s, early 80s. Has that Scott Gorham, John Sykes flavor somehow, but still with his own style and his own originality. So really great player. Very experienced, and also very, very humble and very nice guy. I love when people are down to earth, and it's just people that enjoy what they do, people that accept what they are, and that just want to make the best result and make a living from what they love. And he's one of those guys. And, that's good people to be with you, to work with. So and the same with Matt Sinner, very experienced, solid, heavy player, plays with a lot of integrity, and it's very cool when he plays. Has that laid back feel to his playing, but without losing the attack. So that's also very rare these days. There's a lot of progressive players out there playing, holding the bass up high under the chin, playing with the fingers, and that style, which is that maybe they are great players. They can play fast and they can do all kinds of stuff with the guitar or the bass, but Matt is that player that that plays simple but very powerful and strong. So very solid, and that's what these songs need. Francesco Jovino, I would say he's like those great drummers from the past, like Cozy Powell or Brian Downey, or those guys with the punch and the groove. He's of that caliber. And maybe you don't hear it that well in all the bands he's been with before. some of the German bands are maybe a certain recipe that sounds a certain way, very militant and precise. And then of course, you know, that's a certain sound, and you don't get to play behind the beat or, you know, experiment too much with your drum fills or whatever. It's not the same dynamics to the music or the songs. So I think you can hear how he blooms, sort of. It's like he explodes on this record. You can hear his talent for real. He's such a good drummer, and he's such a rare thing to hear these days. And then you have Alessandro Del Vecchio. You know, I think you know, always being criticized for doing too many things. You know, working with different projects and bands, and you know, spitting out records with various constellations. But I think you know, if you have a certain talent, then you will be sought after. I think that's what is the case with him. He's such a rare music talent, not just as a player. He has a unique talent for listening, and his ears are extremely good, you know, and he can hear instantly if something's not right, and you don't have to explain to him what's wrong, really. You can just I can just paint him pictures, and he knows exactly you know what I'm talking about, and he will send me a different mix that will be exactly or close to what I wanted. So yeah, it's great to work with him as well. Made the job easier. Usually it's much more front and back when you produce a record, and I'm very picky as well. You know, I was afraid he would hate me after this record, because you know, sometimes going a bit too far, I think, with things, you know, details and stuff. But not that we are too picky with things, because it's very spontaneous, everything, and it's a very live-ish feel to everything that's recorded. It's just more about the EQ on things, or the balance of things for the mix. The great thing is that when you have a band like this, you never really move a snare, or you don't have to, or move the bass drum, or you know, someone plays too much in front or in back of the beat. You don't have to do that. You don't have to quantize or do stuff like that, because the band has a natural groove, and when they play it, that's what they play, and that's what's going on the record. That's also what gives life to the songs, and that's very, very enjoyable to be able to listen to a record now in 2017 with those great songs with that sound. You can actually tell that these guys actually played this for real. This is not somebody going in and quantizing and chopping up everything in the computer to make the record. Of course, sometimes we use technology because it's easier. You know, why should you do something 50 times before you're happy? You know, if you can do it a couple of times and use technology to tweak something slightly to make it the way you want it. But I always had this philosophy that as long as it's not the technology that's the artist, you know, as long as it's still the musician that carries the whole song, and not the use of technology, then it's okay, I think, to use technology just a little bit. So maybe I might sound a bit old school now, probably. You know, new times are new times. People are we have to follow up on what's going on. But we are children of our time, and I think it's just a great thing to be around and to contribute with some proper craftsmanship, and put together a band of true craftsmen that can actually swing the axe, like it's supposed to be done. And the cool thing with this record is that no one really thought about what was trend or what was a good thing for the market. Record companies will always ask you for something, but they might ask you for the single or one song that might go on the radio or something. But in general, we were free to do exactly what we wanted for this record. And also we're lucky that our record company are, in addition to being business people, they're also fans of rock music, which is a big advantage. Unfortunately, the business has to be there, and that's life. Lyrics also address capitalism and the business and what's going on today, so it's a very impressive record. It's seen from a guy halfway there, looking at where we came from and where we are today. It's also why the title "Life on Death Row" is something that we can all, at least my generation, can relate to most of the things I'm talking about. And it's reflecting on life from birth to grave, basically, everything that goes on in between. And it's also addressing everything that happens in the world today, without being too detailed, but in general, just to paint that picture and to make that imprint of the times we live in and who we are and where we came from. So, now I'm talking, Josh. I'm going off as usual.
Yeah, and that's why I love being able to talk to you. I mean, you're just so in-depth and thorough with everything that's going on with the band, and it makes me have that much more appreciation for everything that you do. I mean, like, knowing the struggles of being in a band with lineup changes, creative differences, everything like that. When you find the right group of people to make music, writing the right lyrics to fit the right songs, everything that's going on. I mean, that's why I really do love everything that's going on with the new album. Just like you mentioned before, it's a very real and authentic Jorn album, and I expect nothing less of you, because that's what I love best from you. Oh, not a problem.
Yeah, thanks for that compliment, Josh. I appreciate it. It's it's to me, it's genuine when I say I appreciate it, because it's actually people that understand the lyrics and feel the energy and the work laid down. They will, and if you have some talent, for music, then or for understanding music, then you will know that it was not just put together in a short period of time, and it's not just written down and quickly recorded. When I write stuff like lyrics or finding the right structure together with the melody, usually comes instantly. When I get idea for the lyric and start writing things down, the melody is automatically there in my mind. So it maybe not totally finished. Might change a bit here and there, but it's there. And that's also what makes it more genuine and more pure somehow, or authentic. And that's and also when you try to write something honest but simple that people can relate to and understand, it's actually a challenge, because you want it to be the real deal, but you don't want to use too many complicated sentences or words to explain it. You want it to be exactly so that people can easily understand and relate and identify to everything you say. So in that way, in that sense, that's when it's honest, when people can actually feel what you're talking about and say, yeah, I know exactly what he's saying, I feel exactly the same. And that's to me important. And to me also the honesty in this record, for sure. And also the energy that comes with the melody, which I do at the same time, almost as when writing lyrics. Or else it will be fabricated and constructed. If I write just a melody, singing something, some mishmash that doesn't mean anything, just to get that melody, and then record the melody, and then try to find words or something for that. It's not honest in the same way. It's just, you might say it's clever if it's a good melody, it's a good song or whatever, but the genuine element of the song is not really there. It's just the cleverness of composition that's there, but not the honesty and the real deal, which you find in the song, which you kind of spontaneously come up with. It's a different. It's the way I try to work, and I think it's different from many of the more modern bands today. It's very fabricated, everything, and everyone just seems to be, trying to construct something to fit in a certain context. It's like everyone now looks at something or listens to something and say, I want to make that, I want to do what they do, or I want to do a combination of that and that, and then they start working on it. So it's more like a theoretical, mathematical challenge, what people are doing, more than reflecting something from within, something from the soul. And that's what bothers me a bit with today's world, and in the music business. But it's also great to know that not every, in that sense, if you have a competition around every corner, then it will be more difficult to do what you love to do. So there's always advantages, even if it's a rare thing here these days. It's good that some of us can do that, or make that idea come to life, keep that kind of craftsmanship alive. And that's what I love, and the yin and yang thing I always come back to. It's
Yeah, and that's what I always appreciate about you, and that's why I'm so happy that you're still going as strong as you are, because your style is very much needed in this world of music where everyone focuses on their technical abilities or how heavy of a guitar tone they can get, rather than writing melodies, harmonies, and lyrics that actually mean something from the soul, writing the music that they want to make rather than just showing off everything that they're capable of.
Yeah, I mean, I've also been, sometimes forced to compromise a bit on things, working with different projects in the past, and I usually tried to be picky with what I said yes to do, and so that I could actually contribute and do something that was, or to be honest, as honest to myself as possible. But it's been hard to balance sometimes, especially when I was younger, because you just wanted to make it in the business because you wanted, not because you needed success. It's not the fame that was driving me, really. Maybe when I was a teenager, I was looking at the fame and how great that would be, getting all the best women and the greatest parties and all that stuff. But that's not I don't think it. You know, it was never the fame for me as I grew up and started working in the business. It was just the challenge to make a living from music, to be able to do what I love to do and live that life to the full. Because I just saw everyone else getting up in the morning, going to work and following a certain routine, and most of them did a lot of things that they never liked to do and still do today. So I appreciate it more and more every year that I'm, you know, able to do this. And of course, then sometimes along the way, I also had to compromise with what I said yes to do and not, because I needed to, you know, like everyone else, I needed to pay my bills, you know, or back tax or whatever. You know, it's the same for everyone, regardless of success or big or small or whatever level you're at in life, you know. Så nå prøvde jeg Alan Athons, det var ikke han det. Are you there still?
Oh yes, I'm still here.
Oh, it's just some signal cutting off, so yeah. I'm driving, you know, in the car. I'm on my way to Sweden, so that's yeah. I'm driving like 5-6 hours today to go to our second home in the south of Sweden. We're staying there in the weekend, so I have some work going on at the house there, so that's why I'm doing all these. Doing like a few interviews today. We're supposed to go tomorrow, but we decided we're going to drive today. So yeah, sometimes I've been cut off, you know, when Skyping because of the signal. So, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's you know, it's life is a compromise, and I think it's the world is compromising more than ever in every aspect, and I think that's what we see now with what goes on in your country as well. You know, who would never believe that Donald Trump would be president? You know, it's a kind of no one would believe it. Everyone was shocked, but then again, you know, it's something that's forcing itself to happen because people need a change, and the same happens in Europe. We see everything happens with terrorism. We see the immigrants coming, and it's all the problems that have happened, and you want to help, but then people are afraid now that this is gonna escalate and get out of hand, you know, or out of proportion. And so, you know, these more right-wing politicians are doing better than before, you know. A few years ago, they would never be considered to have an important position politically, but now they are winning the elections, you know, and, not just in the US or like we've seen there with the more extreme, like Donald's more extreme policy about the wall towards Mexico and shutting down the borders and, you know, criticizing Muslims and whatever, you know, and Obamacare and whatever is criticized, you know. So I think we see the same all over the world, you know, because people want to change, and maybe the ones that are now taking over important positions are not necessarily always the best choices, but they are people that make sure to make that change happen, or at least that's what they tell people, you know, that they want to do something. They're not just talking politically correct and then nothing happens, you know, which is the case now for many of these more conservative politicians, you know, always wanting to play their cards the right way. And I think it's come to the point now where it's just too much beating around the bush, you know. So I guess people are just tired of that, and they just want to see a change happening. And I don't think they care if it's or who it is. police, whoever, as long as they see that change happening. And it's so you could say that some things are good with the change, other things are not so good. But it's been like this for all times in history, and many of the conservatives have been very much afraid of doing something that will cost society or cost them something, whether it's money or power or their position. It's been too much political correctness, and it was about time now, I think, to see something changing. Even though I don't agree with everything that these new politicians say or mean. It's just, I think in some ways, and what we see back home here, we see a lot of things, and it's good that we have that ability now to protect our culture, for example, or to keep a certain culture alive, before it disappears. And I think that's important. The security that people in Scandinavia, for example, have, parts of Europe as well, is something that they want to protect, and I think it's natural. You wish to share, you wish to help, but at the same time you don't want to lose a certain infrastructure in society and what gives you a comfortable life. So it's a tough balance, tough decision to decide what's really right and wrong here, and you have to make a choice, and it will cost. There will be bad things with one or the other. So it's a difficult matter, and I also address that. Capitalism is on this in this record. You hammer to the cross. The business is more basically reflecting on that in a way. At the same time, it also reflects on what I do or what we do as musicians, trying to do what we love to do and stay true to a certain craft, and do that as long as we can in a world that doesn't really necessarily want us to do this, So, well, a lot of people still do, but the majority of the direction we're heading, or the majority of people have a different opinion on the direction we should take, So also musically, so the business is very much affecting everyone in music as well. So in that sense, it's very how should I put it? Very how you say, deliberating, or you could say like it's very liberating. Yeah, so maybe the right word. Very liberating to be able to do this. Anyway, here we go again. I'm off as usual. Where are we? Back to topic.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to expand.
Josh.
I actually wanted to expand a little bit on that. When you mentioned from the musical standpoint, has that affected you wanting to go to any countries that are more going towards that right-wing conservative area, or do you still want to be able to play shows everywhere that you want to?
No, I would love to play everywhere, and of course people are a bit more careful with that now. I see, around. I never thought about that. Usually we never had that problem with not as much with rock and metal music. It's well, it was, I guess it was rock band what happened in Paris and stuff, but it's. I never really thought about it in that way. I think terror you will always experience. You never know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or where. So it could be anywhere. It could be in any arrangement or whatever event. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a rock concert or a pop concert. So It's unpredictable. So I mean, we can't hide anyway. You know, we just have to live our lives and take some precautions, but we have to live. So and you have to, you know, it's the way of winning over terrorism, to just go on and you know, get things done. You know, and, if you start to, you know, back out, then you lose. Kind of, you know, it's kind of then they win, which is not right. So no, of course, everyone's more cautious, I think, with what they do, where they travel. I see this with what happens, for example, in Turkey. Everyone went there before, or a lot of people from Scandinavia. It was one of their favorite destinations to go on holiday. But now, you know, suddenly people are changing, you know, after what has happened the last couple of years, and you know, now there's more traffic to, you know, Spain again, and some new destinations like Croatia and Italy. Becoming popular. Greece still popular. So, but you know, you see the change. So of course we worry, you know, and we the same thing. Of course, we as a band, I know a lot of Turkish people, great people, and you know, I've met a lot of musicians and fans from Turkey. So you know, I played festivals there. It was great, you know. But of course, I think, you know, you end up thinking that it's not maybe your favorite place to go for holiday right now, you know, and that could also affect your choice on a tour. If you tour, you could you might think that Turkey is not your first priority, you know, because of what has happened. But I don't think it changes too much, you know. I think any metal or rock band would still play a great festival in one of these countries, you know, if they're offered to go, and because in the end, you know, you do it for your fans and for yourself, you know, not to back out really from what you love to do. So you know. Are you there, Josh?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's just got cut off here. It was, yeah. And there's someone calling again now, because there's a guy that's going to do an interview for. I have another one after you today, so that's why it's yeah.
Oh,
no,
sure.
but yeah, I'll call him up. So no worries.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. With that, is there any plans for any upcoming shows in promotion of the album?
Well, we really want to play, but for this summer we decided to just I decided to take some time off. I'll do some shows with Avantasia, and only a few, 3-4 shows. That's it, and do Wacken, and then a couple of other ones, Barcelona, and I think Switzerland. Yeah, and then there's this pre-show or this rehearsal show type of thing we're doing, and then. But with the Jorn band, it's not again. That's what I'm thinking, but maybe not. You know, we'll see if the right shows can be pulled off, you know, or the right venues are available, and we have a good plan for that, you know, soon. Then it might happen this year. So yeah, I hope so. I mean, it would be great to go on the road with these guys, and we all have the same urge to do so, I think. Yeah. So the record was, you know, released now in June, so we just felt it wasn't the right time to start booking shows for this summer's festivals, or, you know, we just thought it would be good to let the album you know, work a bit for us, you know, and so people can get familiar with the songs, and this new lineup, you know, and then we could go out and play. So at least a few months or half a year, I think, before we tour this record. So we might even start this summer or early fall to record some new stuff. I'm considering to do some, or we're talking about doing some covers again as well. Just to be in front of, if we start touring or playing more shows next year, which if that happens, then there won't be too much time to work in the studio. So we're thinking, we should be a bit ahead of things, and also making another original record will take a bit longer. So it takes at least a couple of years to come up with a proper new record. So I think what we could do is work on some of those covers similar to what we did with Heavy Rock Radio, and see if we can do something similar to that, or a different approach, but we'll see. And then in between everything else, we could start collecting ideas again, look at some material for a new record, but like I said, that won't happen till at least a couple of years from now. So and then League of Legends is still going. The Pentakill band, this virtual band within the game. I'm still working with. So there's an album coming out later this year with that. That's some new metal. Younger players that doing some interesting new stuff, and combined with my more old school vocals, it's something new. I think feel like I'm a part of pioneering some new metal, because some of the new songs that I'm working on with these guys, they're really different from some of the other metal songs that's out there today. It's something new. It's almost like it's almost like some developed master plan thing combined with whatever. It's like it's a mix of, I don't know. It's new, but it has those like a master plan of Fantasia, and then mixed with some pop elements. Really, it's really different approach to things. I never heard any band sounding like this, so I'm excited about that to see how that's going to be received. That's out next year, which it's a bit new to me to work with this online gaming industry, because it's kind of outside the music business in a way. They are now crossing over, working with artists, and which is good. That you don't have to listen to all these computer songs, on all these games, which has been done for so many years now. So it's cool to see. I mean, it started already with some of these Guitar Hero things back in the day, bands like Dragon Force and all those. But I think it's quite fresh and new. This thing with the online gaming industry, where you actually reach out to so many people. It's just really interesting to see. It's almost like it's a replacement tool for MTV or marketing tool. It's like the new thing, it has a big impact on the millions of people, and it's of great value for an artist today, especially in rock and metal, to get that not just publicity, but to get into that arena, to be able to present yourself to a new audience, because many of these people are not necessarily metal fans from the beginning, or maybe they're not even that interested in music all the time. They're there for the game, and they're totally that's what they're fans of. But then they also discover artists that they like, and I think that's in a way crossing over to a more mainstream audience with the rock, which is good. That's also something I really appreciate these days. So I'm working on that as well. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Yeah, and holiday, of course. Summer for the first time in years, I'll have some time off in July without playing shows and stuff. So that's great. Barbecue, drinking some cold beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the work that you've done over the last few years, it's nice to have a few months break from having to worry much about anything business related and just being able to enjoy yourself, have some good food, have some good drinks, and just relax.
Yeah, I just thought it was that's what I felt. I just felt it was the right time to do that now. And yeah, sometimes you have plans. You want to make them extra money, or you have a plan, whatever, some strategy. We all have, so regardless of who we are, it's. But at some point, it's good to, when you finished the rat race, and you feel that you've done a few important things in life, that it's great to just step back a bit and take some time off to reflect and decide what to do next. So I guess that's where I am today. Wanting to play and to tour, but still, wanting to be right. Like for the record, this record, wanted to have or to bring the right people together, which we achieved. And it really makes a difference, and the same goes for touring. I don't really need to or want to tour at any cost just to play everywhere. I want to be special, when I do. I want it to be decent venues to play, nice setting around everything, so that everyone can have a good experience, and the fans or people that love the music can get some great value for their money and everything. So yeah, it's been a trend also, I think, in metal and rock, that people are just desperately playing everywhere all the time, going back and forth, up and down and around the world. And you might say that's a lifestyle, and these guys are the real deal. Of course, we all respect them. But at some point, you have to ask yourself also why you end up doing the same thing all the time, and you also have to make sure you don't burn out. And that's where I am, I guess, today, being productive and working, but always being a bit selective on the shows, and because I think it's important to come across as a good performer in the end, and to travel under better conditions. That's always something you appreciate as you get older. Also makes the whole live thing more enjoyable. That said, I'm not really spoiled at all. I've been doing everything. I've played every bar and every club there is in the old days, since I was a young man. So I've been through all those things, so it's not that. It's just, good to, maybe I will even go back and do that, at some point. Who knows? You never know. It's just that for now, I think it's a good time to, appreciate the new record and have some proper plans for this lineup, to go on tour, and not just randomly throw out some shows here and there. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think you're going about it the right way. I mean, doing shows sparingly to make those shows more special, being able to take time off from being so productive, even if it's just for a few months, just being able to relax, recharge your batteries, and get back into the next phase of whatever happens next. I mean, I love the fact of how everything has come together with the new album, Life on Death Row, which of course comes out tomorrow through Frontiers Music, and just everything that you got going on. It's great to see that you are taking some time off to just really calm down and relax. And then when you get the niche to go back and start playing some live shows, maybe possible touring or one-offs or whatever the case will eventually happen, you are definitely taking the right approach. And with this new album, you absolutely knocked it out of the park. You got the right lineup. You made the right music.
Man.
Oh, not a problem.
Thanks, man.
And the only thing I do ask at one point is if you can make it one show in America, whatever the case is, just so I'm able to see you one time.
Yeah. I mean, I hope to play. I hope to go to the US eventually and do some shows over there as well. But I'm thinking it's never any rush really. I'm just. I think it has to be right when I do it, and it's not because I'm thinking I have to play the biggest shows or have to make the biggest money to do it, or that's not it. It's just I just want it to be, it has to be the right band, it has to be the right circumstances for it, and I think I'm looking for that right moment, basically, to do it, and whether it's on my own or in a package with some other bands that are also the right bands to go on tour with. It's like could be like a co-headlining thing when you do like 2 or 3 bands. I mean, some of the older bands do it. They've done it to be able to play some better venues and stuff. And I think also the fans appreciate that when they can go and see whatever band. If they can see like Journey, Whitesnake, and Night Ranger, or whatever, Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, and whatever other band. I think on the same bill. I think. It's a way of being able to put up some proper shows, give also the fans great value for their money. So instead of just not playing or going down to play smaller venues, which are not always. It could be cool, to see a rock gig with a band that you love. But, there's so many terrible venues that you have to play when you go on tour. If you're on the tour bus and you're going, I played so many, to be honest, shitholes in my life that and the guys that ran these places, they were usually great people, and no offense against any of the guys, or the girls or women, but there's been some really horrible venues, that we played, and you don't really want to experience that in the same way anymore. You get older, and you don't want to play 3 decent venues, and then you have to play 10 of those places where when you go for sound check or something, then you wonder, why are you not playing down the street at this local theater or this whatever, at least whatever culture building or whatever, something, a place to play, and then you end up, especially when you're younger, start somewhere. It's cool to do some tours, and then eventually you earn your credit with the fans and that, and then eventually you build. But you have to change your strategy in your business in order to get out of that level. And or maybe you'll never get out of that level. Who knows? But you definitely need a different strategy and different business formula, you know, if you're gonna, you know, develop and get to the next level, you know, and have a proper career in your life. So yeah, I guess that's also why many of the older bands that experienced success back in the day when they were young. Too many bands had, you know, fast success. They were young and sold millions of records in the 70s and 80s. So and you know, then the 90s came, and suddenly major record labels didn't want to pay up anymore. You know? They were forced to sign with the smaller labels and distributions. Some didn't even get a record deal anymore. You know? So and many of these guys, they just stopped playing live, and they just said, no, I'm done. You know, rock or metal is dead. I'm out of the business. But then, you know, the new bands surfaced that didn't know better, you know. They, you know, they were happy with what they had. They were happy with the indie labels in the early 90s, and they were happy with getting some write-up in some newly established rock metal magazine. You know, because and they developed these bands. Developed with that new industry, that indie industry, and today some of these bands are really established, or artists. They grew with the indie industry and became established global artists. You know? While many of these older bands that were a bit spoiled when they were young, you know, experiencing this huge success after like a couple of records, and you know, these guys actually have been struggling more. You know, I think because they had the hard time accepting that you had to, you know, be more grounded, you know, down to earth, and you know, you have to be get back to be a worker. You know, you have to carry your shit, and you have to do the job. You know, get it done, and you know, be a working class hero. Because that's what the business has become. You know, some of the most famous artists of today, you know, they are not really spoiled. They might look that way with a fancy video or some gold records on the wall or whatever, but most bands today are hard workers. They're not used to having you know, people running around taking care of everything for them. So you know, they built their own success from their own hands. It's a bit like the railroad in the old days. So I think the music business of today, especially the rock and metal, they are not really spoiled. I think there's a lot of hard-working people out there now, dedicated, working hard for their money. So,
yeah,
not that these old bands didn't work hard and all the time and stuff, but you know, I think they might have come from, you know, the 50s, and it was more difficult back then. You know, like all these Birmingham bands, you know, and American bands too, you know, from Seattle or whatever later. But maybe they were, you know, growing up in the street and not being that wealthy, but you know, they were, you know, working hard to be good musicians and good craftsmen, but they were also lucky to get a certain success when they were quite young. So, you know, they had a certain freedom to do things that many people today can't do in the business. In that sense, they were maybe a bit spoiled, especially in the 80s. You know, the bands that were frequently aired on MTV and sold millions. It did some, made some good money for a while. Yeah. Anyway, Josh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is good. Sun is shining.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that too. And it's just like there's so many great points about the music business that you've made. That there's so much that can be agreed upon. Although I can just say in 2017, I'm glad that you're still in it. You're still making great music. You still have the love of making music, and I'm glad to see everything that you got going on.
Thanks, man.
Oh, not a problem. Well,
we'll keep going for a while. See how it goes. As long as we are doing well and we're healthy, then something will happen. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, again, thank you so very much for taking all this time to be able to talk to me about the brand new album, Life on Death Road, which is coming out tomorrow through Frontiers, all upcoming plans that you got going on, and just spending this much time talking to me about everything in the music business, the world, the band Jorn, I mean, everything that you got going on. I really, truly appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Well, it's a pleasure, man. I'm like you. I'm just, I love music, we're all just the guys. So, in the end. So, yeah, it was great talking to you, Josh, and I hope to talk to you again. Maybe I'll see you around at some point, hopefully. So,
yeah,
enjoy summer and, everything.